The USS Theodore Roosevelt pulls into NAS North Island with new leadership and a smaller crew. Good afternoon, I'm Kimberly Hunt. It's not the deployment they expected. More than 1,000 sailors tested positive for coronavirus. One Navy chief died. The outbreak led to a desperate call for help and a public military crisis that swept national headlines. And now the aircraft carrier is officially home. And as 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala explains, it wasn't the typical homecoming.
After a nearly 7-month deployment and a coronavirus outbreak, the USS Theodore Roosevelt is officially back in San Diego, but this was a much different homecoming than we've seen before.
So we had been briefed before that this would be a homecoming unlike other ones that we'd experienced on previous deployments.
No families down on the pier waiting for their sailors to get off the USS Theodore Roosevelt. Instead, the families were scattered in different parking lots near their cars, wearing masks and social distancing. An emotional sight for Air Traffic Controller First Class Daniel Wright.
It was a sombering feeling seeing that we didn't have our families out here after we'd been gone for so long.
About 6,000 sailors deployed in January for routine operations in the Indo-Pacific and to maintain security and stability in the region. But in early March, there was a huge COVID-19 outbreak on the ship. Approximately 1,200 sailors tested positive for the coronavirus, and sadly, one did not survive. The ship pulled into Guam before its scheduled port visit so crews could quarantine in several locations.
And as we left Guam, the ship was COVID-free, and we've been living in our own protective bubble for the past 35 days, roughly.
In response to the outbreak, the ship's commander at the time, Captain Brett Crozier, wrote a letter to Navy leadership sounding the alarm and asking for help. That letter was leaked to the media, and Crozier was removed from his post. The decision was met with controversy. Here's the crew on the ship cheering for Crozier as he was let off. Despite the backlash last month, the Navy upheld its decision to fire Crozier, saying after a thorough investigation, it was determined that he didn't meet the standard expected from a commanding officer and didn't do enough soon enough. Still, many of the sailors on the ship had nothing but positive words for the former commander.
Sir, if I could say anything to you, it would be thank you. Thank you for noticing a problem on board the ship and a problem that was affecting your crew, and thank you for taking the actions necessary to get us the assistance required.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.